Before we begin tonight's event, I would like to take some time to go through the house rules. Firstly, kindly silence or turn off your mobile phones. No unauthorized flash photography or videography are allowed. Smoking is strictly prohibited as the auditorium is a non-smoking venue. Food and drinks are not allowed in the auditorium. Kindly remain seated during the performance to ensure a smooth viewing experience for all guests. Before we begin tonight's event, kindly allow me to share a little about Eka Bhavana Dance Festival. Eka Bhavana is a 3-day dance festival curated by 3 performing arts institutions in Malaysia, namely Suvarna Fine Arts, Lahari Theatre, and Thanjavur Heritage Arts and Cultural Academy. This initiative aims to revive and revisit the relevance of solo Bharatanatyam dance presentations by encouraging, developing, and supporting established and emerging Malaysian Bharatanatyam soloists. This year marks the 4th year of Eka Bhavana Dance Festival. And now, allow me to introduce briefly about the curators of this dance festival. Firstly, Suvarna Fine Arts. It is recognized as one of the most active catalysts of Indian dance in Malaysia. Based in Johor Bahru, Suvarna's distinct and original dance works present authentic classicism on the contemporary stage with universal appeal. Suvarna boasts of an impressive repertoire of professional productions and collaborations both in Malaysia and abroad. Ajith and his dancers are recognized for their vibrant dance renditions, striking choreographies, and innovative theatrical presentations. In keeping with its desired objective of promoting and nurturing classical dance as a powerful medium for the performing arts, Suvarna also continues to train and produce dancers of exceptional talent. Next, we have Lahari Theatre, a brainchild of Priya Nair and Thiba Narumugam. Lahari Theatre was founded to provide a platform to promote emerging homegrown Malaysian talents. Based in Kuala Lumpur, Lahari Theatre aims to promote a progressive traditional arts culture. Lahari Theatre will help gather momentum to address the lacking need of a platform or launching pad for local talents in Malaysia and showcase them under its very own banner. And finally, Thanjavur Heritage Arts and Cultural Academy, an establishment by dance directors of SSDB Arts and Cultural Academy, Sri Devasakaya Suppaya and Srimati Sri Devi Chandrasekharan. It is the Malaysian page of the same academy of the beloved Guru, Kale Mamani Sangeet Natak Academy awardee, the late Guru B. Heramanathan of Thanjavur, Tamil Nadu. Thanjavur Arts propagates the same Bharatanatyam Bani depicted in its name and explores the pristine compositions of the Thanjavur quartet and plans to bring forth dance dramas of yesteryears to the modern world while retaining original classicism. With 3 decades of professional experience and strong bond with its parent academy, they have successfully staged a full-fledged choreographed dance drama, and they shall soon produce similar programs locally as conducted in Thanjavur. At this juncture, we would like to acknowledge and extend our thanks to our sponsors of the Eka Bhavana Festival 2023. Our main sponsor is Madam N. Marasamy of MERS Associates of Berhad, Yang Berbahagia Dato' B. Sahadevan, Managing Director of National Land Finance Co-op Society, Mr. Sukumar, Founder and Chairman of Ace Green Center Group, Ms. Gowri Krishnan of Damaru Creations, Mr. Ganeshan Krishnan of Nagani Engineering Trading and Services, and Mr. Maniraja, CEO and co-founder of Retailetics Sanduram Berhad. Coming to our festival narrative, each day we shall showcase repertoires from 2 performing artists, one from the junior category and another from the senior. Between 2 solo performances, we have invited subject matter specialists to provide us short insight lectures on topics relevant for the knowledge of dancers in staging a show and to upgrade their academic knowledge. Now, we would like to welcome our special guests for the night, Dr. Chandravanu, as well as Mr. and Mrs. N. Madaswamy, as well as the festival directors onto the stage. We would like to inform Mrs. N. Madaswamy, also fondly known as Auntie N, has been a pillar of strength for Eka Bhavana ever since its inception in 2017. We would now like to invite our special guests to presenting tokens of appreciation. Now, we would like to invite Mrs. N. Madaswamy to say a few words.
Okay, good evening. Sorry, I cannot speak Tamil, I just speak English. And I thank you, Steven, for this honor, and Ajith Bhaskar. I'm back in Singapore. I was doing this. Somebody invited me to do a storytelling, to tell stories for children. I just know how to say the words, but I must do in action. You know, I don't know what to do. And then it brought me back when I was here watching the dancers. And I got the idea. It's from this, my exposure to Bharathalayaa that I learned about the facial expression and all the dance. And I think that's one challenging about dance, is that to tell a story in a form of a dance with a facial expression and your movements. And that's how I got my idea. And I learned a lot from there. And I really feel that that exposure helped me a lot in also learning how to tell a story with an action, with facial and with words. And I'm glad that Eka Bhavana is now back, because I've been asking Tiban and Ajith when he's going to come back again. You know, we were just waiting for it, because I think being a solo dancer up here, it's very, very challenging, and it is takes a courage for somebody to do that. And thank you, Ajith, and the creator for that to study over me.
Thank you, Mrs. N. Madaswamy, for your kind words. We look forward to your continued support for our upcoming events. Now, we would like to invite Dr. Chandravanu to say a few words.
This is the third evening of Eka Bhavana, and also the third evening of so many talented performers. I've sat through the first evening and the second evening, and have been very impressed, not only by the dancers, but by the works that the gurus have created for the dancers, as well as the quality of music accompanying the performances. I'm very sad tonight, as this is the last evening. As an artist, one never stops to learn. And although I have just come from 7 months of hard, grueling work, training my students to celebrate the 50th anniversary of my academy. We have just completed 50 years. First thing I asked, where did the years go? Second thing is, our performance was a 5-hour marathon, as so many of our previous dancers came back to contribute, to return to perform. And I promised the audience, it will only happen every 50 years. So it's a relief for me to come from that straight to Eka Bhavana and to be in the audience and to actually observe, look, learn, to see how far the arts of music and dance, Bharatanatyam and Carnatic music, have come in Malaysia. And I'm very, very, very inspired by the last 2 performances, and I hope to be so fortunate as well, I'm sure. I would like to say one thing about this organization, the 3 organizations that have put together this festival. This is in the 4th year, and I'm always interested to see what are the processes that you undertake to continue to work, to continue to improve the festival, and also to inspire the young dancers to be able to hope, to be able to dance in the Eka Harya form, the solo form, which Bharatanatyam originally was, in a sense. So, from the end of the festival, I'm sure the people who have organized this will continue to actually work on processes for the next festival. And I hope it will continue to grow to the point where I've decided I'm going to come every year. Where people will say, Eka Bhavana is on, let us go and attend that performance. So, thank you to all of you for inviting me. I've really enjoyed this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Gowri Poobalan, for such kind words. We look forward to see you next year. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also delighted to have in our midst Guru Vayur Ushadure among the audience today. As well as Senior Most Guru Krishna Kumari tonight with us. Without further ado, let us proceed to the first event of the night. From the junior artist category, we have Tharani Krishnan tonight with us. Tharani Krishnan learned the art of Bharatanatyam from her father and guru, Sri Krishnan Manikam, and completed her Arangetram in the year 2012. She was awarded the title of Nritya Chudamani. Currently, Tharani does Nattuvangam and provides vocal support for Salanga Puja and Arangetram programs. Tharani, together with her sister Pavitra Krishnan, conducts various classes in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor. For her Carnatic musical achievement, Tharani was awarded the title of Gana Kalaratna in 2015 by Guru Srimati Nagamani Srinivasa Rao. Tharani shall begin tonight's program with a short invocation song, which is followed by the traditional Margan's first item, the Laripu. The human is shown to depict the blossoming from a bud into a flower in the direction of the Almighty God. He then serves the Guru, followed by the audience. The Alaripu, as a beginning item, exemplifies the awakening and strengthening of the body for all the subsequent dance to God Almighty. The invocation song is set in Raga Boobalan, followed by Alaripu in Raga Nalina Gandhi, set to Tishra Dhruva Talam. This is a composition of legendary Guru, the late Patyar K. Lakshman. On the orchestra, for vocals, we have Srimati Pavitra Krishnan. On Nattuvangam, we have Srimati Jayashankri Jayakumar. On Vrindagam, Sri Tirukumaran Balasubramanian. On violin, Sri Sriram Sheshatri. Ladies and gentlemen, Alaripu by Tharani Krishnan. Now comes the piece de resistance of a Bharatanatyam repertoire, a multifaceted dance piece called the Varnam. Tharani shall dance to lyrics penned by musician, come composer extraordinaire, legendary artist, the late Lalgudi Jayaram. Tonight's Varnam depicts a love-lorn Naika who yearns to unite with her Lord, the Lord Shri Krishna. He who played with her during childhood days now seems to completely ignore her. She calls out to him in different ways and pines for him day and night. Yet he remains indifferent to her cries. While the Naika melts in his melodious and charming music, the butter thief seems to be stone-hearted, and this intensifies her suffering. She is immersed in the thoughts of Krishna and all that her senses perceive, only to remind her of him. Varnam இன்னும் என் மனம் அறியாதவர் என்றாக சாருகேசி said to Adibalam. Ladies and gentlemen, Tharani Krishnan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was indeed a beautiful rendition of the Varanam. Can we bring our hands together for Tharani Krishnan? Tharani shall next perform a Padam item titled Tottu Tottu Pesuvaran. This song depicts a beautiful scenario between a Nayika and a mischievous Krishna. The Nayika sings half in anger, half in bubbling desire. It is a playful anger because the Nayika takes in delight of the pranks played by adolescent Krishna. The mischief he does is a little annoying to her, but she likes it because she enjoys being in the proximity of Krishna. She likes his touch but does indulge in a fake protest. She likes his teasing and calling her sweet names. It is a mixed feeling that the composer brings out in this padam. Tottu Tottu Pesuvaran in Ragam Vehat Talamadi, composer Periyasamy Dooran. Ladies and gentlemen, Tharani Krishnan. Tharani concludes tonight with the Tilana. The Tilana, the most exquisite and fast-paced item in the Bharatanatyam repertoire. It places great emphasis on intricate footwork and sculptural poses, making it a delightful experience to onlookers. Tilana in Raga Vrindava Saranga, set to Aditalam, composed by Eka Krishnan. Ladies and gentlemen, Tharani Krishnan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was indeed a beautiful rendition of the Tilana. Can we bring our hands together for that one? Dear Rasikas, as you are experiencing a wonderful setup of solo dance performances, which is made possible by some of our able sponsors and the efforts of 3 dance institutions, we would like to request you, ardent Rasikas, to contribute in any small manner towards the success of this 3-day dance festival. We have placed a collection box at the foyer to receive your contribution. Thank you. Now, let us move on to the insight lecture for the night. Tonight, we have Meena Kumaree, who is the creative director of Sadhana Entamizh. Tonight, she will enlighten us on bridging the gap between the artistic sadhana and the organizational endeavor, as well as provide a glimpse into the many roles that a producer plays in weaving together the various elements of a production in harmony. Meena Kumaree is a corporate professional and an active arts and social contributor. She's a trained Bharatanatyam dancer who has evolved into various aspects of the arts world, including dramatic narrator, actor, content collaborator, and producer. She's a well-known master of ceremonies for dance, arts, corporate, and social events. For her contributions, she has been awarded the titles of Natya Chularoli by Pavalar Mandral and Surendra Nigal Chetogupalar by Cholan Book of World Records. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite Meena Kumaree onto the stage to present the topic, the producer, the bridge.
Thank you very much. Humble pranams and salutations to my Guru, Gowri Krishna Kumari, and also my Guru who is here today, Dr. Chandrabanu. Thank you very much. Pranams and salutations to dance and music gurus in the audience, to the festival directors, to the wonderful dancers that we've watched over these 3 days, the musicians who are here with us, and most importantly, all of you patrons of the arts, Rasikas and lovers of the arts. Thank you very much for your patronage and your support towards Eka Bhavana Season 4. So I have had a long association with the curators of Eka Bhavana, especially with Suvarna Fine Arts, Ajith, and with Lahari Theatre's Devi and Priya. And when they asked me to come and be the Insight lecture speaker today, it took me a while to think about it, and I thought, did I have something to say? Do I deserve the space? Then I thought back on my journey through dance, my journey through the whole creative field that has evolved, and what I've done, and I thought perhaps I do have something to share with audiences. So I hope I do not bore you all, and I hope I'm able to contribute in some way towards all our audience here today. And especially I would like to take this message that I'd like to speak today to the younger generation of dancers, musicians, and just anyone out there who wants to get involved into the world of arts, and focusing really on the younger generation. So what makes up a production, we can ask, right? I think everyone knows, very, very simply we can say we can break it down to 3-4 aspects of what makes up a production. There is the content itself, and I don't just talk about a production as in dance production, but just any kind of a production. There is the content. What is it that you want to put forth on a stage or in an environment? And we have to ensure that that content is paka. That we, when I say paka, it simply means that we need to be involved in that content, and then you need to be convinced of your content. Don't put a content up because everyone is doing it. Today, instant gratification, reels and trends. Everyone's doing, I can't remember, like 4 years ago there was this reel. There was this trend, and that's the only trend that I remember. There's all kinds of things, that trends going on. Don't do it because it's a trend. You have to be convinced of the content that you want to put. Then it is packaging that content. Again, when you are convinced about your content, then your packaging won't be just to suit the masses or to suit what people want to see. But your packaging will come down to your content. Your content will inform your packaging. What do I mean by packaging here? It's really the marketing materials. How do I want to put all of this together? How do I want to go out and talk to people about it? How do I want to create awareness around it? It's all of that. And then it comes down to creating the content. A lot of people think, oh, we'll create content and then we'll figure it out. That's like putting the cart before the horse, right? You have to know what you are doing and why you are doing it before you embark on actually doing it. And a large aspect of all of this, for those of you who would like to become producers or who produce your own productions or just producing anything, a large aspect of it is, of course, the financing. And that then just makes your heart break and your heart fall all the way down and you think, oh, I can't do this. So yes, it is, financing is very difficult. It's not the easiest thing to do. Now, what do we have, or how can we get that financing? Where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to do that production, you will figure it out, right? And financing can come from self-financing. Perhaps your family, perhaps yourself can finance whatever content it is that you want to produce. Perhaps it's family and friends who will come together. In most places, I'll just talk in the context of Malaysia, there is government grants, not that there isn't, I won't say grants, but there is some form of assistance that you can get from the government, not major. If you're lucky, 1 out of 5 years or maybe once in 10 years, you may get something major. But we all know the slice of the pie is a pretty thin slice, and it cannot always be going to one space or to one production house. So, you might need to fight a little bit for that space. But we live in a modern world today. So I also say, think of different ways of raising funds. I've had chats with Dr. Chandrabanu about this as well, and also with the festival directors. And if one person in a row was not built in a day, and it didn't, one person cannot build it, always bring together different people and open yourself up to new ideas of how to raise funds. Conventionally, we just say ticket sales and sponsors. But think about it. Perhaps the classical arts needs to move into looking at crowdfunding. That is a way. Perhaps you need to look at crazy ways of fundraising. If you have an influencer, a social media influencer, encourage that person to get more active on social media and perhaps then raise funds through that by creating awareness. And there's just so many ways. It's good for you to bring in people who are in the corporate world to come into your organization, into your production, because they will bring different ideas of how to raise funds and what is it that you can do. Traditionally, the Indian arts, when we put a show up, we say, okay, let's raise funds. Let's say it's for charity. When we say it's for charity, people will be willing to buy the ticket and come. After that, what you give to charity, the audience doesn't quite know. Generally, there's something that we give towards charity. But if those of you who were here yesterday and you listened to Dr. Prema, you would know that the arts itself today is being used in therapeutic means. There's just so much that dance is being taken into. Interdisciplinary is a word. Interdisciplines is a word that she used, and art is being taken into so many different forms. Why should we not now think of the new ways of reaching out, perhaps to these kind of organizations, and taking our Indian classical arts out to them to do something different and to do something more. So funding is always the greatest headache. Putting everything else together, suela, you know, like this, like that, pimai tantu, we kind of can do it. But the funding is the one that pulls everyone down. And one of the takeaways I would like to say, I mean, I've gone through this myself. I've had the good days, the bad days. So when I do productions, cannot do small, must be grandiose. Only then do you get to enjoy the whole thing. It's got to be an experience, but we've also had to challenge ourselves with the pandemic and the new norm coming in. Producers had to challenge ourselves to see how do we now come into the new norm of doing things. How do we make a difference? How do we change? And sometimes it's spaces like this, right? So a lot of schools or a lot of producers or a lot of arts gurus don't really stage as many productions as they would like to stage. And because they always do the one mega production, perhaps we also need to think of doing smaller productions and then do the 1 in 10 years as a really major, big, huge production. Because spaces like this, what a major production does, it gives you an experience. But it's spaces like these and these smaller productions that, and when it's continuously done, it then creates a continuous loop, a continuous generation of energy that grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. You know, Sirithuli Peruvellam, they say. Little drops, and you don't know when that one drop and the cup is going to overflow, and you're going to have a tsunami wave of art just coming across through all of us, yeah? So that's on that one aspect of it. What I'd really like to share, so I myself am a dancer. I didn't dance as actively. So a lot of people in the audience may not know me as a dancer other than some of the senior gurus. I do have peers who are in the audience as well. So they have seen me as a dancer on stage. But I evolved through dance and then I arrived somehow by accident, you know, they'll say like you're just walking and then suddenly one and the next thing I knew, I ended up being a producer, and I was like, how do I do this? Oh my God, you know, what does it entail? What happens? And at the time when I became a producer, shows were prolific, but not as overabundance prolific like it is now. Today it's literally Tadiki Vilda show. You know, you don't know which show to go for. There's show here, there's show there, there's show somewhere else. I know friends who are here in the audience, thank you very much. They've actually gone for another program and then they have come here for this show. And hats off to people who are doing that because of the support that they are giving out, right? So I became a producer at a time when programs were prolific but not as prolific, and stumbled my way through it. And through the many productions, small, large. So as a producer, I said, what is a producer? Basically, you're producing something. You're creating something. You're collaborating with someone and creating something. That can be something that is done just in the environment of a dance school or a music school, just in their space, or it is something that is on a large scale, in a big auditorium and in a big arena. But that's what a producer does, continuously creating, continuously producing. And through this whole journey that I've gone through, I've come to realize that there is an aspect of a producer which I really don't know whether people have thought about it, whether producers, people who have become producers, And in Malaysia, generally, the producer is the dance guru themselves. There is no like a separate producer. Very rarely do you get the benefit of having a separate producer. Generally, it is the dance guru themselves or the music guru themselves to become the producer. And because this person is wearing so many hats at the same time, there's a lot of confusion that can happen. There's a lot of overlap that happens as well. But there is this very, very beautiful aspect of being a producer, which I really don't know whether anyone has thought about it. If you have, after this, please come and tell me. The producer is a very central personality to any production. Generally, someone says the producer, or generally it's seen like the producer is the person who brings the money. So you bring the money in, okay, we put you as the producer, you've produced this show. Or they come in and they're doing the marketing and they're doing the ticketing and they're doing something else, oh, we produced the show. But producers must also realize that they are that linchpin, they are that center. Think of a wheel, think of a chakra. Like the wheel of life, there is this wheel that's going round in a production. You've got the various spokes that are coming in. You've got the artistic director, you've got the musicians, you've got the dancers themselves, and then you've got the parents of the dancers. Let's not forget the parents of the dancers. So I'm a dancer, sorry, I hope my actions will convey to you what I'm trying to say. But there are all these folks that are coming in. There is the designers who are designing your program and your cards and your whatnot, and then there is the person, the copywriter. You're lucky you have a copywriter, and the copywriter is writing copy. Then you have the MC and the narrator and all of these folks, all different things coming in, and they're all people. The producer is also, and this is a horrible hat and a difficult hat to wear. The producer is also a people manager. And you know what happens when you're managing people? Oh my God. To manage myself itself, I struggle. Here I have to manage what? Not one, not two. You do a big production, you do a school production, you got 50 students dancing. Times 2. 104 parents to manage. Then you got musicians, and then we're doing a mega show, no? Cannot have 4 musicians. Here only, so beautifully 4 musicians. Cannot. Must have 10 orchestra strength musicians, must have 2 mridangam. And then the 2 mridangam, the mridang is tadinginatom going on between the 2 mridangis, right? Then you want 2 singers, then you want a male singer, then you want different singers. I could just go on the whole evening I could just sit and list all this people management thing. But that's a very, very important role. Because at the end of the day, when you start anything, you always have to start with an objective in mind, right? What is the end result that you want to have? In the arts, in the dance and music world, not just dance and music, but in the arts world, the end result is you want to give an experience to your audience. You want them to come and see and listen and absorb and to sit mesmerized in their chairs, to not leave moving a muscle, to not even blink at the end of a performance. And you want them to go home feeling happy and joyous. How do you do that? It's a 6-month, 8-month, 12-month, 18-month journey that gets you to that point. And through the whole process, what the end result is what the audience sees on the stage. But bringing all of that together and creating that magic on the stage, getting all of them, அனைவரும் ஒரு மனதாக இணைந்து ஓரிடத்தில் இருந்து ஒரே விஷயத்தை ஒரே மனதுக்கு எடுத்து சென்று சேர்க்கின்றார்கள். அது எப்படி சாத்தியமாகிறது? How do you make that happen? Managing one person difficult, here you're managing all these people. And that's what a producer really needs to do. To be able to hold all of these people together and to bring them together. Not just make the audience happy, but to create this space that's out here, to create the space that the artists want to come in. And then the artists don't want to leave the space. To create jubilance first in the artist. And the artist just is overjoyed, and there's a whole waterfall of emotion and love and joy just flowing out. Only then can the tsunami wave reach the audience. If all the artists are sitting here and going, I'm not going to look at you, I'll play the violin, sorry. Whether it's a violin, whether it's a mridangam, I just automatically my hand went. But say a musician sits there and says, I'm going to do this, but there goes, whatever happens. I know the talam and I'm going to do it. And then the mridangam is, I know the talam, I'm going to play. And then the dancers get stuck. In all of this, you know who is the mangsa? I know there are dancers out in the audience and they will be saying the mangsa is us poor dancers, you know. We got no control over the speed that the musician starts. Suddenly we come out. Speed. Suddenly you come out. I'm like, where is this going to go and end? And that always happens. Tilana you will get. Don't know what speed it will come. Right? And if we were Dr. Chandrabanu, please don't get angry with me. But if we are Dr. Chandrabanu, we would like stop and please restart. We are kuti students, you know. How to tell stop? Teacher sitting there some more. Violin teacher sitting, mridangam teacher sitting, can tell or not stop and start. How does that not happen on the stage during the production? It's because of all the effort and the work that has gone on. And here we are, the producer is literally that person in the center, pulling everything together and making that magic eventually happen. The producer is not just the person who brings the money. The producer has a lot more that comes into it. So if you were to ask what is the X factor, what makes one producer or one production stand out from all the others, if you look for that X factor, this is it. Literally, think of yourself like you are. So Tharani was dancing on Krishna. Think of yourself like you are Hari and the Sudarshana chakra, and you are that finger holding that chakra. A wheel that is spinning without that axis, without that focal point holding it, that wheel is spinning out of control. It's going to do a crazy number of things. It's going to destroy. But we want it to create, we want it to go out. And here the producer is the one who holds that, who creates that energy, that focus. Then you strategize it, and then you unleash it out. So, and a producer, I would always advise producers to say, get involved in every aspect. Do not impose yourself. You're not there to impose, but you're there to know, to understand, to see what is being put together. Because if you need to do a little alignment somewhere, if you need to step in, artistic creative people are. I also artistic creative person now. Suddenly the volcano will erupt and everything will happen. But that's where the producer then needs to step in and needs to know how to mitigate, how to mediate and do all of those things. So this is why I chose the topic, the producer, the bridge. Because the producer bridges between the artistic sadhana and the organizational endeavor. Producer stands in the middle bringing all that together. Dr. Chandrabhanu said something really interesting on the first day. He said, there's such a thing today called stagecraft. So if you look at the art as a craft, you have the art, you have that craft. Then we all know performance craft. How do we create a performance out of it, right? But very importantly, between that comes the stagecraft. And then it comes, I don't know whether anyone has thought about it, production craft. The three will exist in silos and can exist in silos. And the production craft is what brings all of that together to eventually get that final performance that is coming out for the audience to see. So these are some of the things that I wanted to share with all of you. Do I still have time? Is there any questions? I'd just like to throw it out to the audience. Thank you. Thank you for not asking questions. So, ladies and gentlemen, if there's two things I'd just like you all to take away from this, as a takeaway from this lecture that I've, not lecture, but to sit here and share with you, is one is to understand the different aspects of production. Don't let finances drag you down, and please be creative. Think of different ways how you can raise, have a food fair, have a fun fair. Today, everyone is an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is the buzzword. No one wants to work in an organization. Every single person wants to be an entrepreneur. Encourage entrepreneurs. Start looking at saying, we raise funds over a period of 24 months, a percentage of profits, a percentage of sales, something like that. There's just so many ways we can do that. And number two is the producer as the production craft, the producer standing in the center, bringing everything in together. And let me tell you this, a lot of people think being a producer is an absolute headache. Yes, absolute headache. You want to throw in the towel all the time. But at the end of a performance, when everything comes together, it's an extreme joy. Especially when you're a producer with the arts world. There's bliss to be had. And you're flying high. You forget. It's like childbirth. Huh? It's like pregnancy and childbirth. So during the process, oh, never again. But then you ask a mother once she holds the child in her hands, and the mother has forgotten all of that. So literally, a production is it's like a pregnancy and a childbirth, and then you have the little child and you nurture. I would like to make a little humble request out to all young dancers, young dance gurus, and I hope the senior dance gurus and senior dancers will support the next generation in the sense of Dr. Prema spoke about academia, and she spoke about collaborations. We need to move into that. The world is no longer a silo. There is no longer borders. The world today is borderless. Countries themselves are such metropolitans. We as artists in the art world cannot remain shuttered and bordered. We have to break the fences down. Collaboration is what we need to do today so that the arts can continue to grow and continue to flourish. Right? So I'd love to say much more. Perhaps there will, in Eka Bhavana Season 5, I may get to speak to all of you again and share thoughts. Till then, thank you for joining us, and thank you very much to the curators, the festival directors, Suvarna Fine Arts, Ajith Bhaskar, Lahari Theatre, Devi and Priya, Thanjavur Heritage Arts and Cultural Academy, Deva and Sri Devi. Wonderful job. Amazing artists have come out, not just dancers but musicians as well. We hope that we'll continue to see them in stages and that they will continue to grow. From my thoughts to your thoughts, from my heart to your heart, from my soul to the cosmos. Shubham, Shantam, Anandam, divine peace and joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Meena Kumaree, for sharing your knowledge and service as a celebration with now. The festival director, Sri Devasanayan Sikoya, would like to honor and present a token of appreciation to Meena Kumaree.
Yeah, that was indeed a fantastic information. I can share only just a minute. Crowdfunding actually really works, and it worked for this Eka Bhavana. Okay, say for example, like I went to my USM alumni. I told them, but just don't go and tell them just once a year, whatever. Be friends with them. Go for their weddings. Go for their children's birthday, whatever. Be normal. Okay, and then when the function is coming, then you go and tell them we are doing this, whatever. Any small amount, seriously, it builds up. Okay, so now I think the crowdfunding is one of the points that she's told. Okay, explore that. Thank you.
Thank you again, Meena Kumaree. Thank you, Sri Devasanayan. Now let us move to the second repertoire of the night, presented by Srimati Gowri Poobalan. Gowri Poobalan begins her repertoire tonight with the Varnam. The Naika in this Varnam seeks the help of a Saki, a female friend, to bring her lord to her. She could not resist the thought of his charming moonlight face showering sparks on her. Relentless, she questions the delay of his arrival. She remembers he is the God who created the six-faced one who taught him the meaning of Pranava Mantra. His fame is sung by the whole world and admired by Goddess Parvati. The Naika continues to lament to her Saki. She recalls that he promised that he would marry her publicly and made numerous other promises, but he has yet to come. She begs her friend to be a messenger, to go and bring her lord to her. The Varnam, Swamiye Alitodiva, in Navaraga Malika, set in Aditalam, composed by K. and Danildan Pillai. Ladies and gentlemen, Gowri Poobalan.
Thank you. Oh
What a splendid performance. Can we have another round of applause for Gowri Poobalan? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the orchestra for tonight for Gowri Poobalan. On Nattuvangam, we have Madhura Natya Mamani, Srimati Dr. Guruvayu Ushadurai. we have Isai Kalaimani Kumari Narayani Vairani. On Vrindagam, we have Sri Kuhanandan Nandakumar. On Vain, we have Sri Sriram Seshadri. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share a little about Gowri Poobalan. Srimati Gowri Poobalan Praveen is a Bharatanatyam dancer and teacher with Laasya Arts Academy. She completed her Arangetram in 1997 under the guidance of Srimati Vatsala Sivadas from Temple of Fine Arts and Srimati Guruvayu Rushadore. Her performances have won her accolades in Malaysia and abroad such as Natyanjali, Natya Sudaruli, Natya Kalamani and Kala Kamari Sangam. A law graduate with a master's in management, she works as an officer with the Ministry of Defence. Gowri Poobalan concludes tonight's program with a padam. Annaye, Annaye, bless me, O Divine Mother, for I am an orphan. The Goddess Supreme Mother, the Goddess Parashakti dances joyfully, fulfilling her duty in protecting us from all probable dangers, while showering us with her blessings. When the powerful demon Mahisasura threatens all the Devas and commoners, they came to Goddess Parashakti. The goddess is angered by the taunts and arrogance of the Asura. A battle soon ensued, and the Asura is stunned by the powers of Devi. In the end, the Asura is defeated and dies, hence peace was restored with the power enshrined in Goddess Parashakti. The Padam Annaye is set in Ragam Ranjini, Talamadi. The music was composed by Vatya Natyakara Chudin Sashidharan Nair, and the lyrics of the Padam was penned by Srimati Dr. Guruvayu Rushadore, who is wielding the Natyavangam tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Gowri Poobalan. What a splendid performance. Can we have another round of applause for Gowri Poobalan? Now, we would like to honor and present tokens of appreciation to both of our wonderful artists tonight. We would like to invite the festival directors and the dancers, Tharani Krishnan and Gowri Poobalan, onto the stage. Firstly, Tharani Krishnan. Next, Gowri Poobalan. The jewelry gift presented tonight has been a gracious support of Mr. and Mrs. Saraswathi and family. Thank you. Now, there will be a certificates presentation ceremony for all the artists that perform in all 3 days of Eka Bhavana. We would like to invite Dr. Chandrabanu to present the certificate to the artists. Firstly, from the junior category, Dr. Harita Jacob. Next, we have Paramjyoti Muttuvelu. All the junior artists that performed for all 3 nights will be presented with the title Bharathalayaa. And finally, Tharani Krishnan.
Okay, look here. Okay. Okay, ready? Okay, look here one time. Okay, look here one time. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Next, we will on to the senior category. All the artists from the senior category will be presented with the title Natya Tilakam. Firstly, we have Aishwarya Aravind.
Okay, look here, look here. Okay, look here one time. Okay, look here, 1, 2, 3, thank you. Welcome.
Next, we have Jayashree Reganathan.
See, come over here. So, okay. Okay, one time. One time. Thank you.
And finally, Gowri Poobalan.
Okay, ready? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chandrabanu, for honoring all our artists for all 3 nights of Eka Bhavana 2023.
Okay, enough, yeah? Okay, enough. Okay, everybody, okay, yeah? Ready? Okay, look here, look at my camera. 1, 2, 3. Ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3, one time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Okay, good. Berlagak.
Thanks again, Dr. Chandrabanu. Now, we would like to honor Srimati Sai Rajarajeshwari, Artistic Director of Thanjavur Arts Academy, who has been a great supporter of Eka Bhavana since its inception. We also would like to acknowledge her husband, Mr. Gananathan of Sai Photography, who has been our main photographer for all 3 days of Eka Bhavana.
Look here, everybody, yeah? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Okay, welcome.
Now, we would like to honor and offer a token of appreciation to Dr. Ajith Bhaskar Das. We would like to invite Dr. Chandrabanu to present his token of appreciation to Dr. Ajith Bhaskar Das.
Thank you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chandrabanu. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to also acknowledge Yves Cheng for his contribution for photography. We would also like to acknowledge Mrs. Rani Lingan of Entamizh for covering our event live on Facebook for all 3 nights. On that note, we have arrived at the end of Eka Bhavana 2023. The 3-day festival has been a great success, and we are overjoyed to have received such overwhelming support, grace, and love from all the gurus and art rasikas that joined us for all the 3 nights. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we hope you have enjoyed the performances and the insight lecture. This event couldn't be made possible without the gracious support and enthusiasm of our main sponsor. Firstly, Madam Anne Madasamy of Les Associates Senior Berhad, Yang Bahagia Dato B. Sahadevan, Managing Director of National Land Finance Co-op Society, Mr. Sukumar, Founder and Chairman of Ace Green Center Group, Ms. Jagadeshwari Krishnan of Damaru Creations, Mr. Ganesan Krishnan of Nagane Engineering Trading and Services, and Mr. Maniraja, CEO and co-founder of Retailatic Senior Berhad. Ladies and gentlemen, we all hope to see you soon in the next Eka Bhavana. Till then, thank you, good night, and have a safe journey home.